Battlefield 6 is here, and I've already completed it. Let me explain. I've unlocked everything you can from leveling up, and I have figured out the most efficient ways to do so. But in the game, levels aren't the only thing you need to unlock gadgets and weapons. Certain gadgets and even certain weapons are locked behind challenges, but of course, I've unlocked those as well. So I'm gonna let you guys know the tips and the tricks and the strategy that I've used to unlock all of these really awesome items really quickly. Let's start with what I find the most entertaining way to get XP, because it's still a game at the end of the day. I don't think you should play Battlefield and just tune in like it's your job. I did. You probably shouldn't. You actually want to enjoy the grind. It is quite a long grind, and it's just not worth doing if you don't enjoy the process. So the main thing before we start with the hacks is tuning your mind to play multiplayer with an XP focus. Now, what this entails depends on your skill as a player, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what game modes you like to play. But the idea here is that we want to get as much score as possible. From my time in the game, I have found that the easiest way to get a lot of experience points is by playing support. Your experience points will pretty much be linked with your in-game score, not your kills, not your deaths, but your score. And reviving a teammate is like 50 to 100, resupplying is like 50 to 100 score, getting smoke assists, and just doing the things that a support generally does gives you a decent chunk of score, even if you cannot get a single kill yourself. And if you're playing with your team, it adds up really, really fast. So if you just keep running around like your Desmond Doss and Hacksaw Ridge, you're actually gonna let those points stack up really quickly, and especially if you play on the point or around it, and you will find that you actually will end up outscoring your teammates that might be playing a recon or assault, actually looking for kills. If you're like me and you hate vehicles, I've found that using engineer and putting out some good AT mines and just hitting a lot of RPGs and breaking vehicles, getting those collateral kills, really gives you a lot of experience points or score points really fast. Because, you know, breaking a whole tank can be upwards of 1,000 if have more score. Same goes for choppers and whatnot. This is very dependent of you actually hitting the choppers and breaking the tanks, but it can actually reward you quite well. I also do want to mention that if you do play tank or any other vehicle, this is a great way to get a lot of kills and a lot of score, but obviously it's not the easiest thing to do. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be in the tank, so it's going to be hard for you to actually get that score. Personally, I don't like playing vehicles, and I ended up top scoring every way. If you decide to take the fun route of grinding out experience points, then you're also going to want to get your hands on experience point boosters or XP boosters, and you can unlock a few of them in different ways, which is of course the Battlefield 6 Phantom Edition, which you can purchase on EA Play. This will give you like Battle Pass stuff. It'll give you the Phantom Pack, which gives you 2 weapon packages that gives you an edge. It will give you a weapon skin and more, and most importantly, it will give you career and hardware XP boosts. Now, if you do have Phantom Edition installed, or now if you don't have Phantom Edition and you upgrade to it or whatever, or you just end up buying the game, make sure that you go in here and, you know, if you enjoyed this video so far, make sure to put in promo code ottr. Helps me out a lot. Additionally, if you guys want to save a little bit of money, you can actually buy this with EA Play Pro. If you pay for the annual version of EA Play Pro right here, you can actually get 15 additional % off if you use code ottr right here. Look at this. So overall, if you do play other EA games, this is going to be much cheaper than actually just buying Battlefield outright. This gives you the Phantom Edition as well. But there's other ways to get XP boosts other than that. So there's a bunch of challenges in the game. Some of these obviously reward XP, but some of them reward these career or gear XP boosters. And there's things like Small Modes Challenge. You have to complete matches in domination, team deathmatch, travel the ground in ground vehicles. Just stuff like that. It's pretty simple stuff. So you just need to basically play the game with focus of doing these challenges. Just play it and follow. Like, yeah, you have to play domination for one. You have to play, like, you know, just jump in a jet one time and you get these XP boosts. And then all you have to do is when you're in game, just go wait for you to be in game. Don't wait to do it when you queue up, but when you're in game, you can actually just hit the escape key for me, and that's so that you open up the menu and you can activate the booster when you are on the ground to really min-max the amount of experience points that you get. And then all you do is just play the game as you would like, get as much score as you want, and then of course that. Additional thing is you actually get a 5% bonus if you play in a premium team. You'll also have more fun. So consider doing that as well. But as I said earlier, XP and levels are one thing, but if you want to unlock everything, you have to complete challenges for certain unlocks, or if not, most of them. Also, a quick mention, when it comes to challenges, there's also the dailies and weeklies. These give you XP bonuses that stack up quite nicely, so make sure you do these. These depend on I think the weeks are going to be the same for everyone else. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just pretty much play the game and you'll get these. And then there's the daily ones that update daily. Just make sure to do these to give you a pretty sizable amount of experience points that racks up pretty fast, especially combined with your XP boosts. If anything, you would probably try to make sure to do the XP boost beforehand. One quick mention though that I forgot to mention is that when it comes to the XP you have gained, try not to quit a game, because if you quit a game, you don't get the full experience that you have earned. So always play the game until the very end, or you're gonna miss out on that, and you're gonna end up leveling up a lot faster than you would think. So in Battlefield 6, in addition to all the experience points, there are items that are locked behind challenges. And these challenges will get you either gadgets or, well, weapons, really. And some of them can be pretty time consuming. I mean, for example, just take a look at this challenge right here that says inflict damage during ADS with SMGs or get close quarter kills with SMGs, which it's 200 whole kills. One challenge later on actually requires you to get 300 headshot kills with a carbine. So realistically, that's gonna take you like at least 400 or 500 kills because of the spread of the weapon. It's safe to say it's quite time consuming and quite difficult. The rewards are worth it. We're gonna go by these step by step, but obviously it is quite a lot of work. But you know, thankfully I have the strategy for just that, both for power leveling it and doing it in a more fun and immersive way. And in a little bit, I'm gonna tell you guys how you can power level these. I don't recommend doing it because it kind of drains the fun out of the grind, but we're gonna go through these challenges one by one. And I'm gonna tell you guys what you need to do, the tips that I found were the most useful to do this as fast as possible. Also, a huge thanks to Tom from EA for actually helping me out with this, because I had this, I didn't record this when I started playing and ended up not having the footage. So he actually went in and grabbed this for me. Absolute go, Tom. Appreciate that again, my man. Pretty self-explanatory, right? This is just for experience points. We don't care too much about those, but let's take a look at the actual weapons, weapon challenges, and then the class challenges. So first and foremost, we have rapid fire, which gives you the cord 6B, 6-7, inflict damage with assault rifles, inflict damage with assault rifles. Now this is a typo. I don't know if they fixed this for the live version that you guys have. The first one is actually get kills with assault rifles. It's as simple as that. I've found that the easiest way to get a lot of kills, usually, especially as an infantry player, is by playing breakthrough, really. Either attack or defense, whichever works the best for you, and just holding an angle, letting people run into it. Any breakthrough will work. You can try the infantry breakthrough, which has been added to the portal if you really want to min-max this. But yeah, just play infantry breakthrough. I found that that's just the easiest way. Some of these challenges are going to be a little bit more details. We will get to those as well. We have get kills with the cord 6B67 or B36A, and get kills over 50 meters while ADS with assault rifles. Now this is where things start getting a little bit more advanced, because obviously you're gonna have to get over 50 meters, which is quite long. Like, you don't have many sight lines in Battlefield 6 on the current maps that are 50 meters or longer. So you're gonna want to go to maps that are large on the larger side, and ideally breakthrough. Again, it's just easier to farm kills on breakthrough. I think a breakthrough game is, it's shorter, but it's more hectic. You see more action compared to a conquest game, which is longer, but you'll get a higher amount of kills. At least that has been my experience so far. You're gonna want to play on large maps. We're talking maybe Operation Firestorm set up like on the high grounds, Liberation Peak again set up like in high grounds or the long angles far back, and just plink away at them, and these 100 kills will take no time at all. As for whether you want to use the cord or the B36, I used to love the B36A4, but I have not gotten any value out of it doing these challenges. I feel like the cord is just a better gun overall at this moment. We have a tier list coming up. Make sure to subscribe for that. But obviously right now, I'd probably say that you want to go with the cord here. And then for the level 3 of this challenge is inflict close quarter damage while hip firing with assault rifles. If you really want to force this, you could queue into one of the close range playlists. There's a whole playlist for that, but it's squad deathmatch, team deathmatch, really any of these, and just go ham, really. It helps a lot if you equip something like a laser, as this tightens your hip fire spread and makes it do a lot better. Moving on, we're gonna do danger close, which gives you the QBZ192. I just realized my camera's in the way here. I don't think you can do much about it. You're just gonna have to trust me when I say the name of it. It says get kills with ADS with carbines. It's pretty simple. You can play, again, any type of breakthrough, any type of infantry style map. I think these are like usually low to mid range. Just pick a meta carbine, whichever you have. M4A1 will probably get the job done pretty easily. Inflict damage with carbines, same thing there. Just do a lot of damage. And then you have, we get to this step 2, which gives you SG550R, which is one of the better carbines in the game, which says get kills with QBZ182 or M277. Both are pretty solid. I forgot which one I prefer the most. Both are good. It just comes down to which one you prefer using. But this is where it gets difficult. It is perform a headshot with carbines. What's difficult with this challenge is that a headshot with a carbine. So ideally you would want to go for the same challenge at the same time, just to save time. But performing a headshot with carbines is difficult because, as you will notice, a headshot isn't a headshot. From my experience, it's a headshot kill. So it's a bit inaccurate. I believe that shots to kill is 3 bullets in a head to kill somebody, but it only counts the headshot and it has to be the last bullet you hit. And these guns have a really high spread, so sometimes you could hit 2 headshots and then the third one hits the body. It's annoying. Really, all you can do here is play breakthrough and just go for headshots, I guess. Maybe try try to snipe out snipers. Actually, now I think about it, you might want to do the QBZ-192 because it is, from my experience, a little bit less spready, but just have like that headshot burst focus and you'll burn through this pretty damn fast. Next up, we have another close quarters. This is for SMGs. It says inflict damage during ADS with SMGs. We mentioned this previously, I believe. It's pretty simple. Just play SMGs and ADS. It might help if you have a grip that helps you ADS faster, but they're all pretty fast to ADS with. You'll get the job done basically with whichever you have unlocked. I would probably recommend out of the SMGs you have at the start. I like the MP7, but you get that at a certain level. You don't get it off rip, but it's a pretty good SMG. I forgot which one you have off rip. I don't know if it matters too much. All of the SMGs are pretty solid, except like the PW3A something, like the MP7. Close quarter kills with SMGs, you're gonna be close quarter. You could absolutely force this by playing squad or team deathmatch, a close quarters playlist, or just you can actually do this in Conquest or Breakthrough just by picking close angles, close maps. Cairo can traditionally be fairly close. I think close quarters is very close though, so I haven't tested how far it is. We're talking like probably within 10 meters, something like that. And then the second part of this, which unlocks SL9, is get kills with the SCW or SGX. You get the SCW here. Use the SCW. It is one of the best SMGs in the game, one of the best weapons in the game. Small mag size, but insane damage per second. So just use that. You're gonna breeze through this in no time. Just play any close to mid-range playlist or map. You're gonna be fine. Multi-kills with SMGs. Now this one might be a bit difficult with this gun. Only because the magazine size is really small. You know, you need 300 kills with SMGs. Might as well go for the SCW. But if you are struggling to get multi-kills because you basically have like to get several kills in rapid succession or do a transfer, you could swap to any of SMG, the MP7, the SGX, whatever you want that has a slightly lower damage, and then just go for flanks. Just go for flanks and you're gonna get multi-kills in no time. But if you take like 1v1s, you're gonna struggle, I think, with these guns. As for Bullet Storm, these are really annoying. These are really annoying. I even did a trick for this and it was still super annoying. Suppress enemies with LMGs. So this one, you're gonna have to hear me out on this for sure. Suppressing an enemy with LMGs means that you shoot next to them and you have to shoot for quite a bit. And most importantly, you need to be a certain amount of distance away for it to count as suppression. Apparently suppression doesn't count if like an enemy is within, I think it's 40 meters. I tested this briefly. So you need to position yourself in those long angles, same as Liberation Peak, for example, same as Firestorm, right, that we mentioned previously. Ideally on Breakthrough, because people are just gonna be coming from one choke, and just going ham with it. Play support, put a magazine pack on the ground, and just keep like shooting. Ideally, you want to avoid dying here, but it's gonna be hard. It helps if you put like a smoke down, because it will, you know, it'll divert attention away from you. You'll be able to just shoot down, put fire down the lane without getting shot back. You're gonna die a few times doing this, but it's the best way to do it. It's gonna feel really silly too, lowering your accuracy and just dying for it. But what are you gonna do? Inflict hip fire damage with LMGs, same thing as with ARs. You want to get a laser sight. I think you get the red sight pretty soon, and then just like get up close and hip fire people. Close quarters helps here a lot. You're gonna die a ton because it's definitely not the way to use LMGs, that's for sure. And then of course this one on the Bullet Storm unlocks the M24L, very solid LMG. Inflicts damage with the RPKM or KTS 100 MK8. So the RPKM is sort of like an assault rifle. So if you have this unlocked by now, you would probably, I would recommend it mostly because it doesn't like force you to be stuck in one position. But the KTS 100 MK8 is a pretty low recoil, pretty easy to beam LMG as well. So if you're a slower player, you can get away with that too. You just have to put a lot of damage down. And getting multi-kills with LMGs, it's basically gonna happen. It's not that hard. Moving on, we have actually this challenge, we probably should have mentioned earlier, but we just went chronologically. Point blank is actually the challenge you should start with. So if you're watching this video ahead of time, good on you. If you're watching this chronologically, you're probably really pissed off right now. Sorry about that. The point blank is the only challenge that's unlocked before rank 23. You cannot do any of these challenges before rank 23 except point blank. What this gives you is a hardware XP booster, which is just a good thing to have. And it's a good idea to start with this fairly early so you have it out of the way by the time you want to do the rest. That's what I did at the very least. It says inflict damage with shotguns in a match. Just take the 870A1, I think it's called, and just go ham in a close quarters. You'll get this in basically one game if you have these. And then get kills on 50 meters with shotguns. You have to get 200 of those. Same thing there. It's extremely easy to do. Really not hard at all. And then the same thing here, get kills in a round with a shotgun. You gotta do 25. If you struggle with getting a lot of kills in team deathmatch or domination, King of the Hill, because these games don't have like the longest opportunity for getting kills, you can just take this to Conquest, take this to Breakthrough, and force close range angles, and you will get it. Taking Conquest and going to a point, for example, I believe it's D on like the one in the middle on Liberation Peak, will let you force close range angles on people, and people are gonna have to like fight back at that angle. You will get those kills over a long enough game if you just camp there or just chill around in that area. Get shotgun kills without reloading. It's gonna be a bit challenging for a lot of people, especially playing against real players, but just, you know, follow the tips that we mentioned a lot. Keep taking a new angle, like hold an angle, wait for someone to peek through, shoot them, or peek and flank, shoot them, and then reset back to one angle and then shoot that person, reset back to one angle again, shoot that person. Try to force 1v1s because the shotgun lets you win basically all 1v1s if you just lock in. It is an extremely good weapon for that, the 870 that is. Next up, we have Deadeye. Now, this is also an annoying one because it is perform a headshot with DMRs. It's a bit inaccurate. It's not a headshot. It is a headshot kill. It's a final hit. And the DMRs don't one-shot kill unless they are like 5 meters away from you. So what you need to do is go on a longer map. This is also because the second mission is inflict damage over 75 meters with DMR. So go on a larger map, go on Liberation Peak, go on Firestorm. Firestorm might be overdoing it. You just need a 75-meter angle, so Liberation Peak will do, or Mirac Valley has worked pretty well for me as well. Set up in a good higher ground, a little bit off center, and just look to tap people. The problem here is because it only counts headshot kills, what you need to do is body shot and then headshot. What I did was headshot, or then headshot and ended up body shotting, and it didn't count. It has to be a body shot and then a headshot. That will save you probably like a ton of time because it took me forever to realize that. And if it does, then drop a comment, I guess. This one unlocks a PSR, long range sniper, a very long sweet spot. Get headshot kills over 200 meters with sniper rifles. This one is an actual pain in the ass, and I'm gonna tell you guys the best way to do this. It's the only way, the best way to do this, and get kills with sniper rifles. So get kills with sniper rifles, just force long angles, play within the sweet spot, set up like, let's say the point is 150 meters away. The M2010 SR has a sweet spot of, I think it's like 90 to 120, something like that. I set up in an angle where the enemy is gonna be about 90 to 100 meters away, and then you can use one-shot body shot. Very easy, simple way to get a lot of kills with sniper. It's quite easy. And then as for the headshot kills over 200 meters, this one is difficult, especially when you haven't unlocked any good snipers yet. The SV98, which is of your sniper, is a close-range sniper. It's not worth using this challenge. The M2010 SR is gonna be your best pick for this challenge. So I said there aren't many long angles in Battlefield 6. There's even fewer 200-meter angles. If you try taking a vantage point, let's say on Mirac Valley, let's say on Liberation Peak, you either have no angles that are over 200 meters where there are people, or like the very angles that do exist, nobody is ever there. So you're just gonna spend the whole time staring at nothing. What I found to be the most efficient way of doing this is by going into Operation Firestorm and driving all the way up to either take a chopper taxi and get up on one of the big dildos, even though it's not perfect because again it has the same problem of you can only really shoot the outskirts of the map to get a 200-meter shot. It's a lot better if you just take like you go up on the mountains, on the cliffs, and just snipe from there. Depending on the side you are at, this might be easier or more difficult, but it's the best way to go about it. And then another issue I ran into very soon is that the M20 SR comes with a really bad scope. You have to play Recon for this, by the way, because you need steady aim at this range. Double bind your steady aim with rangefinder. You want to unlock a rangefinder, which you get pretty soon after a few levels. And ideally, you actually want to unlock a new scope for your M20 SR. If anything, I would actually suggest that you go and unlock the rangefinder and the next level 6x scope before you do anything else. Choose your angle, set up a bipod as it stops this way a lot. You have the rangefinder, find your target, hold your breath, and then shoot them in the head. Moving on, we have the class challenges. Now, these are also going to be a bit confusing or difficult. These are the ones that unlock mostly, or actually, if not wholly, your gadgets, and they're a little bit tricky to do. For example, Assault Expert, you have to complete this one, and then this one, and then this one. It does suck you can't do all these at the same time, but it makes sense. It does get in the way of progression now, so he's gonna run through it. Assault, the first mission, earn score. This gives you the deploy beacon, and then get kills while using the adrenaline injector. For earning score, just play the game, get kills, pop off, have fun. For the adrenaline injector, like when you're holding an angle, just when you know somebody's gonna come around or you're about to swing a peek, just pop the injector and then peek and go crazy, go ham with it pretty much. We haven't tested how long it lasts, but it lasts for quite a few seconds. You can go kind of crazy with it. This will just playing with this in mind will make the time fly by in no time at all. And next up, we want to get a training path which changes like your passive abilities that you level up with your squad. And what you have to do for this is have squad mates deploy and deploy beacon. This one is a bit difficult because it relies on your teammates a lot. I ended up asking people to spawn on it, but I found that people will take the deploy beacon if you put it either like somewhere really close to where the enemies are, like by the battle line, all the way behind the enemy team, like on a flank, or just anywhere that's closer than you and your spawn. If you put it in your own spawn, they're never going to use it. Obviously, there's a risk of the enemy team breaking it, so you have to find creative ways where you can hide it, or where you can put it in ways where they can't really shoot it out. You're just gonna have to feel this out to figure out what works for you. Getting kills or assists on concussed enemies is a bit annoying. I found the easiest way to do this because of how short the concussion duration is if there's an enemy and I have a teammate that's gonna fight them, like just go for the assist. Just toss the concussion grenade on somebody who's currently fighting your teammate. It will help your teammate out, so will appreciate. Most importantly, it will just turn them into an easy kill. And then we have deal damage with grenades. Just literally play infantry, any type of breakthrough where there's a large choke point, or is a choke point. Infantry breakthrough is probably the easiest way to do this. And just holding Siege of Cairo, for example, and just tossing grenades down the main lane and ideally play next to a support player or with a support player, and they will help you a lot. This is also probably a good time to mention that I upgraded our Discord recently at discord.gg/ottr, link in the description, and I added a channel called LFG Battlefield 6. If you guys are looking for squad mates, if you guys are looking for somebody to help you with this, because this challenge and a few others are significantly easier if you have a stack. For example, let's say you're playing Assault. By the way, you have to play this as Assault. You have to be an Assault for this challenge. So if you have a stack, you can just have a support next to you who gives you ammunition, and you can just keep tossing grenades down. Otherwise, you're gonna have to redeploy or die in between every life, and this will take forever. Also, a quick mention of something I did found. I want to mention this. A lot of people don't know this, and I think this is kind of game-changing for doing these challenges. Right here it says deal damage with grenades. Fine. Can you pick a support and then go frag grenades and then pick like ammo kits? You have infinite ammo? No, because you have to play as support. The thing is, in Battlefield 6, is your class stays if you pick up a different kit. So if I pick Assault, and then I see a kit on the ground and I pick that up, this is a support kit, I get all the support gadgets, I get their grenade, their gun, you know, whatever, and their medkit ability. What I don't get is their passives, the training path that we saw here before, which is like, okay, you when you level up enough, you get like an additional grenade slot, or you get an additional, like, you heal faster, your stuff recharges faster, and like the ultimate like level up version, which is for example for Assault, that's like the stim injector for the whole team, the rally. This doesn't carry over. And in the eyes of the game, even though I pick up a different kit, I am still an Assault. If you don't have any way to get ammo, either pick up support kits and just keep giving yourself ammo, and hopefully they have grenades on them. Or what I did is I just ran around and I kept picking up whatever kit I found on the ground. If it had a grenade, good, I threw it, and then I just switched to another one, and then just repeated that process over and over again. That seemed to be the easiest way to do this, and other challenges like it. It's just a good way of understanding the game logic, which will carry you forward on all of these challenges. Moving on, get kills while contesting objectives as Assault. I guess technically same thing applies here. Contesting objectives just means you have to stand on it. You can defend it, you can attack it. It doesn't even have to be under attack. As long as you are on the point while shooting somebody, it counts. Earn score 40,000. All good. Then these challenges give you, like, there's a player card and there's a skin. I don't care too much about these, and a badge. I don't care too much about these, so I'm not gonna cover them now. And maybe we'll do that for a future video. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Moving on, we have the engineer challenges. This gives you the CSS bundle. This is like this is a gadget that lets you heal tanks. It's not that good, but might as well do it if you want to unlock everything. To do this, you have to repair vehicles. Very easy. Just climb on top of one and follow it into battle, and just keep like preparing. It's very simple. Earn score. Just play the game. You'll probably get like 10k scored one game if you just play like defensive anti-tank. It's really easy to do. As for the combat engineer training path, deal damage to ground vehicles with launchers. Super easy. Pick an RPG, pick an MBT law, and just snipe them. Deal damage to ground vehicles with anti-vehicle mines. This one is also quite simple. 2,000 damage isn't that much. It's like 2 tanks. I found that the easiest way to do this is putting these down on common rotation points normally on the street. Depending on who you're playing against, you might benefit from trying to hide them and conceal them a little bit behind, like, if there's like a crater in the ground from a prior explosion, put them in there. If there is like some type of cover to hide them behind, or a body, I don't know, medkit, put it next to that, and it will be harder for the tanks to notice it, and they're gonna blow up. This one though, however, dead air was really annoying. It says here, deal damage to aircraft with AA launchers. Super easy. Pick up the Stinger, you'll get it like in a few hits. They're gonna use anti-flares to like stop your Stinger, but you'll still get damage. It's all good. And then it says deal damage to laser designated enemy vehicles using lock-on weapons. This one is a pain in the ass, and it's a good reason for you guys to join the Discord, because what you need to do deal damage to laser designated enemy and vehicles using lock-on weapons is you have to use one of the few weapons that engineer has. It's not all of them. Let me see. Basically, it has to be either the MBT law or the MAS 148. The worst part is as well, it's not clear here, but this doesn't count flyers. So I spent like a real long time killing flyers with this, and it did nothing. So what this means is you need somebody who's on recon to use either the tracer dart or the soft lam. It's called something else in game, but the binoculars. And they need to hold primary fire and paint the target. And then you just need to use a lock-on weapon, like again the MAS 148 or the I want to say the MBT law has this functionality. Not entirely sure. I think it does. And then they just have to hold. You just have to hold it and shoot it, and that's it. Then it breaks. It's literally that simple. You're gonna need somebody to play with. Check out the Discord for that. As for engineer specialists, you just have to deploy the vehicle supply crate. That's what you unlocked previously 5 times. Just put it down and redeploy. Put it down, redeploy. I don't think this was super valuable, so we just do that and then swap to swap the gadget you actually want to use. Get 40k points. No problem at all. Again, these are just like things I don't care about, skins and whatever. Then for the support challenges, you have to heal teammates for health. Well, with the support, just run around, run after teammates, put down health kits, your med kits. Simple as that. Eventually they'll heal up completely. Go for revives. Don't go for full defib revives. Instead, go for revive and then toss down the pack on the ground, and they're gonna heal up 50 health. health from that. Earn score, self-explanatory, just play the game. Revives as a support, just play a bit more defensively, stay behind the battle line, maybe keep smokes, throw smokes down, and just run and like res any clusters of teammates that you have. It's pretty simple. Also, I've noticed that this the healing stats don't seem to work fully against AI. So whether you're gonna use the trick with the AI, the bots we're gonna mention later, or if you're gonna play on legit servers, you might benefit from having a stack or just focusing actual players. This goes for any of the healing challenges. No idea why. It just seemed to be a bug that kept like happening. So just let's not risk it. Deploy the deployable cover, super easy. Just deploy it. This one is a bit more difficult. You have to get smoke assist as support. All you have to do is I think what counts as a smoke assist is if the target that dies is in a smoke or your teammate is in a smoke. Easiest way to do this is tossing a smoke next to a teammate that's shooting somebody because it's a bit more forgiving. So if they just like close enough to the smoke, it still counts. Or just tossing a smoke willy-nilly where people are fighting and eventually you'll get the kills. You know, it depends on how surgical you want to be with it. It's a bit annoying to do because it relies on your teammates, but you'll get it eventually if you're just really locked in with it. Resupply teammates, exact same thing as I mentioned previously. The credit seems a bit weird. What I found, because we had a lot of bot games in the review version, was I just followed the other players, my squad mates, and I just kept throwing resupplies on the ground. Resupplying is ammo, it's not heals necessarily, so most people aren't going to run around with full ammo or full gadgets. So if you toss this down on any teammate, it will probably count. But obviously if you revive somebody, they are guaranteed to, you know, need health. So might as well do it that way. Be a good teammate for once. Why not? This one I like a lot. You have to intercept projectiles with the gyps. This one is quite simple. You just play by the battle line. I found that the closer you can get to the enemy team without dying, the better. Because if you're next to your teammates, you put the gyps down, it will eat all incoming projectiles. It will eat up to 3 incoming projectiles per gyps. You can have 2 plays at the same time, but it can only eat up to 3 at a time. And once when it's eaten 1, it will like expire after a few seconds. If it's next to your teammates, there will rarely be grenades actually like flying that way. But if you can put the gyps as somewhere in between your teammates and enemy team, as close to the enemy team as possible, it will catch a lot more of the enemy grenades because there's just more coming out of that angle. I don't know if this makes sense. I hope it does. Earn score, 40k, self-explanatory. It's quite a lot. And then this one was actually hidden, but the last gadget for medic is actually hidden in this player card. It's a 6G1 VP. It's like a shotgun airburst. It's a resupply teammates with a supply pouch. This one was a bit annoying, but quite simple overall. Same thing. You don't get credit for bots for some reason, or rarely do. Just give it to real players. This thing locks on to teammates that are like within, I think, 15 or 20 meters. If you just aim at them and toss it, it will go there. I found that the easiest way to guarantee value of this was reviving somebody and just throwing the pouch at them. The cooldown is quite long on this, so what I ended up doing was just like I'll just put down my my med kit, my supply pack, and then just kind of throw out these from there because it does make it recharge a little bit faster, and I only get 200 in no time. And then finally we're gonna take a look at Recon Challenges. Spot enemies in objective areas with Recon gadgets. This one was a bit weird because certain gadgets I felt like soft limb sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. It might not work against bots or it just might not work overall, but I found that if you use the drone it works, and if you use the tugs, that's your like class specific like little thing you put on the ground, this will scan any nearby enemies within like 20-25 meters or something like that move. If you just put this like inside of the point, then that's going to be fine. I found the most value of doing this on breakthrough because enemies are going to stand on the point or near the point whether you attack or defend, so they're guaranteed to be there and give you that spot for not much work. You also just earn that score from getting these spots pretty much. Spec Ops get headshots over 150 meters as Recon. So this is literally the challenge we had before. It was 200 meters, this is 150. So ideally if you want to try to time this by the time you do the sniper challenge, that would make the most sense, or rather the sniper challenge over 200 meters, because then you get these two done at the same time. Otherwise you're gonna have to go for an additional 50 snipes, and it's already a pain in the ass to get the first ones. Next up, trick enemies into hitting your sniper decoy. You get 3 of these and they actually offset your glint, so it's not that hard. What I ended up doing though, the easiest way just to power level this, is that I just went into the fight. I picked like a close range weapon and I used this as cover. Like just go into the fight, put the decoys down, and then all you have to do is just keep like hiding behind it, and they're gonna like just, if any like random shots that like whiff you or just flying around hit the decoy, it counts as tricking them. So it's quite easy to do. This is a repeat of the previous one. You do the exact same thing that I just said, and yeah, those are all the challenges. So overall, like if you just play the game with grinding these in mind, you're probably gonna have quite fun because you're not like hard grinding it. It kind of sucks the fun out of it. You'll get stuff along the way, but there is a little bit of a secret sauce that makes everything so much easier for you, and that is the Battlefield Portal, which is something they added now with the release of the game. In this game mode, you can play full normal matches, custom game modes, and so much more, but most importantly, you can host your own servers with bots. And from what I've tested and from what I can see, assuming you don't change anything up too much, the XP gain is normal and challenges are counting normally as well. So this means that you could grind out these challenges and gain XP in the bot lobbies, and you can get your weapon mastery in bot lobbies so much faster than you ever could against players. This is how I did it, and it was actually faster in Portal because it was 100% bots and was 100% more predictable. I could adjust the maps and everything. The games will be easier and the challenges will be easier, but again, side note, it will be less fun. I don't think it counts towards your kills either, but if that's something that matters to you, but hey, you can do it as well. You can do all of the challenges in here. I'm gonna give you guys a few examples for what I suggested previously, and you can just pull these up yourself if you want to grind it out. This will be pretty much the same as like you playing the normal game, but you'll get on the specific maps that you need, and you'll be against bots when you need it, and you can just like restart the game or swap to a different map or whatever if you go like past the point you want or something like that. And again, because of there being bots, sometimes you're gonna need a squad mate to play with so you get the credit for the heals and whatever, but in most cases it works. And I'm gonna give you guys a few codes in a little bit. It's worth mentioning that EA has said that non-traditional Portal game modes will not have normal XP gains, so there's not gonna be like XP grind maps coming out unless there's some exploit or something, which you wouldn't really promote, I think. So anyways, my suggestions for the Portal, in most cases, you'll find that it is the easier to farm the XP and challenges overall on Liberation Peak Breakthrough, because all the bots just stand in the middle on the first 3 points. They just walk out and stand in, whether they defend or attack, they just walk out and stand in the middle, which makes it easier to get your grenade kills and your collaterals and hitting your shots and whatever. You also have longer sight lines, which makes it easier for you to hit like the 50-meter challenges, the 75-meter challenges, and stuff like that. However, this map doesn't cover certain things like vehicles. Again, healing is resupplying teammates. Again, if you do want to do those things, you should go to the Discord. But I'm going to give you guys a few codes that you guys should put into the Portal if you do want to grind this out. These are normal game modes, but they have bots autofilling basically instantly, and you can just kind of set up whatever situation you would like. And you can just use the lessons I just told you for the different challenges or the different levels and just apply it to the Portal experience for a much faster game. Or I should say more control game. This one here puts you in Liberation Peak against bots. This just puts bots in choppers and no other bots. I don't like if you really want to get like the flight one. This one gives you Firestorm only, which like gives you those easy snipes. And it also has bots take vehicles. So if you have vehicle challenges to repair, to destroy, that's where you would want to go. And this one is Infantry Breakthrough for easy killing bots for XP or challenges in general. That's actually the official playlist for this. It puts you on Cairo, but if you swap, I believe it puts you in, you can also change the maps in the rotation to play different ones as well. These 3 codes should basically cover all that you need to actually get this challenge done. But yeah, now you have it. This is the quickest way to unlock all the items in Battlefield 6. So consider subscribing if you found this useful. I was the top kill leader in the beta, so I'm gonna be posting guides like this just daily. I'll see you guys in those other videos.